Hey everybody, happy Friday. Just wanted to share with you guys some of the things I'm preparing for the weekend just to show how simple and healthy meal prep can be. And I wanted to introduce the concept of beans and lentils. Now, beans and lentils haven't been a big part of my diet. I've just added them recently. When I was going to the supermarket and trying to buy a lot of the foods I like, I was lucky enough to find a lot of them, a lot of good frozen vegetables and fruits, and the produce section was pretty well stocked. When I went down some of the other aisles, things were really gutted, and unfortunately, a lot of the processed food was what people were buying. But what I noticed was like beans and lentils and dried rice and stuff were still available. And the beauty of beans and lentils is bought in their dry state, they can last up to several years in your cabinet. So I said, you know what? I'm home. I have the time. I've always wanted to use my crock pot. I've never used it. I'm going to play around with some food prep and try some different meals. And I've done that, and I've found some really healthy meals, all plant-based, all very nutritious, and it lasts me several days. I live with my oldest son. He eats the stuff too, and we have plenty of food for days, and the prep is really easy. So I'm going to quickly walk you through two meals. One is just kind of a traditional rice and beans, and the other one is a lentil soup. So let me flip this around and start with, so I've got the crock pot, and I've got it basically loaded with everything that I'm going to want to put in it. I've got my beans in there. I've got the rice. I've diced up some celery, some carrots, some onion, some garlic. I've added a ton of spices to it. I'll show you some of the spices I use. I just put a little bit of all of this in. There's cumin, there's garlic powder, there's chili powder, there's cayenne pepper, there's basil, there's lemon pepper, some pink salt, some curry powder, and I like to put in some olives as well, and I like to pour in a little bit of that olive juice in there. So all of this stuff is loaded in the crock pot. What I'll do to cook it is I'll just add some vegetable stock. It's about a cup and a half, and I'll include this recipe if you guys are interested when I'm done. And that's it. I'll put the crock pot on for 3 hours and let it slow cook. And after 3 hours, I'll check it. Now, one key thing about beans and lentils, here's what I mean. Here's how the beans and the lentils came in the store. Again, these can last several years in your pantry. The trick is how to get them to be soft. So I've been playing around with this. I found with the black beans, they were very tough to get soft. I soaked them at room temperature for a while, and they still were pretty hard. So what I did was I soaked them, and then I boiled them and let them sit for a while, and that did soften them up, and now I'm going to put them in the slow cooker. And with lentils, are not as hard, but I did soak these overnight, and they look like they're going to be ready to go. That I'm going to put in the soup. The lentils are not in this crock pot. The beauty of beans and lentils, which are legumes, they come in a pod, is that they are packed with protein. There's more protein in what I'm making here than that you're going to get in any steak dinner, that's for sure. And the beauty of it, it's the kind of protein that our body is more adapted and ready to absorb and take in. Animal protein is very difficult on the body. This type of protein, more easily assimilated, especially with the beans soaked and boiled, they will be a lot more absorbable. So tons of protein here. In addition, what's odd, we kind of think of fiber as something that comes from fruits and vegetables, which it does. But these beans and lentils have a lot of fiber as well. Fiber is very important. Fiber, of all the many wonderful things fiber does for the body, it takes out toxins, it takes out excess cholesterol, and it feeds the good gut bacteria in our guts, which we need for a healthy immune system. So that's it. That's the recipe for this, and this is going to last for a while, and we'll eat a lot of it, and we'll have it like for days. It's a very healthy portion. So other than throwing the stuff in and then letting the slow cooker do its thing, that's the meal. Lastly, I'll show you this. This is the lentils. This is what the lentils look like. These have been soaked. So they have absorbed some water. This recipe, which I'll also include, is even simpler. I'm going to do this in a regular pot, but I'm going to put just some garlic, some onion, squeeze a fresh lemon in there, again with vegetable stock, vegetable broth and water, and let that sit on the stove, and I will have a ton of lentil soup. Now, what you can do, you can then take that and puree it into more of a soup. I like to just eat it as it is. Maybe I'm lazy or whatnot, but again, very healthy. Look at all the ingredients: garlic, onion, lemon, and lentils with some vegetable broth. And that's it. So the combination of these two is going to give me plenty of food for the weekend, plenty of fuel, and there you go. It's just that easy. So wanted to share that with you guys because somebody who has not always been a big cook, that's for sure. I mean, I'm learning and I'm having fun, and I'm trying to use this downtime to be productive and to learn some new things. And it's really a lot of fun. I mean, you kind of realize, like, you throw the stuff, it's the cooker's doing all the cooking. All I'm doing is throwing in ingredients that I like, and it's pretty simple. And man, is the output and the benefit of it amazing, you know. And I get to cook for my son, I get to cook for my girlfriend. It's pretty awesome. So hope that was helpful. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and everybody's staying positive and eating healthy food, building ourselves up, getting stronger so our bodies can fight whatever enters the system and get rid of it efficiently and readily, and so that when this thing is over and done and we've gotten past it, which we will, that we're ready to enjoy life with healthy bodies and healthy minds. All right.